印度，我们的邻居，人口也有10几亿。可是我们真的了解他吗？他有贫困匮乏的一面，但为什么全球跨国企业中，印度 CEO 的数量如此惹眼？这个民族卓越领先的一面，来自于怎样的思维方式，怎样的精神根源？
你看那台车，它旁边也没车，它明明就可以开在线里面，它就硬要开在那个线上。然后也因为大家不在线里面嘛，车子有大有小，所以3线道会变5线道，5线道会变成8线道，像这台要逆向。
对啊，为什么这样可以倒过来开？
他就觉得这样比较短嘛，因为他们可能没有做让它回转的地方，然后他就立刻逆向这样子。因为我在这边已经7年了。所以它的交通给我很多对于这个国家的认识。其实我觉得印度有一个思维很有趣，就是说 Jugaad， 就 Jugaad 的这个文化呢，在印度也是很多印度人自己不喜欢，因为 Jugaad 如果我们硬要把它翻译的话，比较像是替代方案的意思。像是没有莲蓬头啊，他就拿那个铁桶给它戳了好几个洞啊，挂在那个水管下面啊，啪下来它就是莲蓬头了。他们会有很多这种奇怪的 Jugaad， 但是呢，其实 Jugaad 某种程度上反映了这个国家它的必要。它有很多时候是资源很匮乏的。那当正确答案不可行的时候，我难道就把问题放在那吗？没有，我觉得印度人他就是想 Jugaad， 解决20%也是解决20%嘛。但是 Jugaad 有一个蛮大的缺点，就是说有时候你解决20%，又创造另外20%的问题。很多人来到印度会觉得，天哪，这太乱了，我没办法做生意，我没办法跟政府打交道，我没办法管理印度人。但是如果从印度的企业家，或者是我们甚至看到现在有很多那种跨国 CEO 都是印度人，他们厉害的地方在于在混乱中制造秩序。
那这样一个 Jugaad 在教育上面，
我觉得基本上不接受正确答案，所谓的标准答案是一个很有趣的事情。你看印度的课堂里面，会看到一个在华人的教室里面不太会看到的情况，就是举手，老师我要讲。有时候那些举手的人他说的话，你真的觉得天哪，神逻辑，你那个后面的概念、那个结构都很不清楚，你怎么敢讲出来？但他敢，他也觉得我的意见应该被听见。那你也可以听，如果你觉得我哪里不好，那你就继续跟我辩论，最后他辩都会找到一个答案。
At the end of the book, that yes, crowds deserve that punishment in pensive. But I would like you to actually focus on one particular feature. When all the jurors were voting in favor or against incarceration in Azkaban, with a savage delight, savage sense of satisfaction. Those are the terms which Rowling had used.
顾哈老师在加尔各答历史悠久的西孟加拉大学教课，他最受学生欢迎的课程是用哈利波特故事为案例教授法律。
Potterverse is something which is alien to them. So if they can actually make sense of the rules therein and the laws therein, at least they would be better equipped to do all of that in the real world also, no matter what sort of situation they face.
We grew up with the book, so I'm looking at the same story from a different perspective, and that is, at many times it changes your whole view about the things. That is something that will help us everywhere.
Is it quite common in India to challenge the teacher in the class?
any good university, like challenging the teacher is a important part of class. And I feel like when a teacher is being challenged, when the lecture is being challenged, that means the course itself is interesting.
That gives the scope for discussion, to take this topic further, think about it in more depth.
If you are dispensing justice, you cannot take delight out of it. If you do, that is not justice. That is vengeance.
But the nature of justice publicly has been more vengeful than if you do an action. Exactly, or more. In fact, your punishment will be higher than the amount of wrong that you have done.
But why do you say that that is the nature of justice? You tell me that is human nature, that is human reaction to a crime or a wrong, I will say yes.
Justice has been portrayed for a longer time.
Exactly.
And
But does that make justice what it is?
No, so I'm saying that. For example, I may say that, I do not want, but when India actually does a surgical strike inside, I'm like, yeah, good. But
So that is fine. I mean, as you saw that during the class, I also asked some questions to the students, and they in turn can ask me questions, and we can come up with the answers together. Schools are about using the Socratic method to teach, which means that I ask students and help them come to arrive at answers themselves. I always say that I end up learning more from my students than they end up learning from me. We are not simply training the students. As a well-known adage goes, the purpose of a university is to bring the horse nearer to the water and make it thirsty.
Does J.K. Rowling knows that you are teaching Harry Potter?
Well, I don't know whether she knows it or not, but since I started this course, I certainly got an email from her managing agency stating that I should be careful about copyright issues involved.
I had no idea that a place like this existed at all. This place is so remote that if people fall sick, there is very little chance of survival because you can't get them to a hospital.
苏卡塔教授1990年起在贫困地区安装电脑，让那里的孩子们接触互联网。这启发了电影《贫民窟百万富翁》的作者。我们从加尔各答出发，开车3小时，坐船半小时，又在3轮车上颠簸了1个多小时才到达目的地。
One gentleman came to my house and he talked about this village. He wanted to build something here in the memory of his father, who was a school teacher. My project manager. So he came here and he called me from here, and first thing he said was, "It's impossible." So then I said, in that case, we have to build it here. The more impossible it is, the more we should try.
近年来，苏卡塔将这个项目带到更偏远的地方，称之为 School in Cloud， 云中学校。
Looks a little bit like the cyber cafes.
Yeah, cyber cafe in the 90s.
It is a bit like that, but there are two big differences. In the cyber cafes, you will notice that people don't want other people to see what they are doing.
Yeah.
So they build little walls,
yeah.
and they just sit there huddling over one computer. Now here, first of all, the computers have many chairs, so 3 or 4 children sit. And the walls outside are glass, and there are no side walls.
On purpose.
On purpose. We should be able to show other people what we are doing. In this kind of community, the children, they sometimes don't even have enough clothing, and so for them to have computers is fantastic. So that's how I get them in. So once they're in, they do whatever children do, which is they do cartoons, they fool around, they learn how to use the computer. In about a year, the kind of children you saw today, they will discover Google. They may type the question in, but they can't read English. So the first thing that happens, like magic, is that they learn how to read English. Not individually, but in a group.
每天下午，云中学校会接通世界某个角落的一个志愿者，让孩子们直接跟外面的世界通话。
They asked about your favorite food.
A favorite fruit. In the winter,
Winter की बोलते हैं
I like little oranges, and they're sweet and juicy.
Increasingly in the last few years, I find that when you ask children a question, they're using Google less and YouTube more. Because if you do a search on YouTube, you get a person who comes and explains things to you. Not just one teacher in some school, but the world's best. You see, these children you saw today, if they grow up not knowing how to use the internet, they will be at a very serious disadvantage.
আমি মানে মাঠে চাষ করি আমি মাধ্যমিক মানে পাস করেছি আমাদের তো সময় ব্যাপারটা তো আমি যখন শেষ করেছি পরীক্ষা শেষ তো সেই সময় তো কম্পিউটার তো ছিলই না আমি চাইছি মোটামুটি মানে এখানে যে মেকের স্কুলে যে স্কুলটা যেটা মানে প্রতিষ্ঠান হয়েছে যেহেতু এবং আমরা এতে ভীষণ খুশি যে এই জায়গাটা হলে হয়তো অনেকটা মানে এগিয়ে যেতে পারবো
Do you use internet on your mobile phone?
আমি মোবাইল ফোন আমি ব্যবহার করি না
So she is ahead of you.
এটাই চাইছি এগিয়ে যাবো
I learned English. Who is English I don't know. I search and I know from computer.
So now you can speak English all because you learn here.
Yes.
Do you have any dream about your future?
I want to be a computer engineer.
云中学校的教学方法称为 Self-Organized Learning Environment， 就是自我组织的学习环境。重点是让孩子们自己要学习。这不仅适用于贫困儿童，远在果阿海滨一间条件富裕的国际学校，也深受启发，采用了这样的教学方式。
Basically, I set up this school for my daughter. When I put my daughter in this school, it was more of a traditional school, and I found that her self-esteem was dropping. I think it comes from an outdated system, which is really about conformity and obedience. So I think that's the roots of the problem. There is a lowering of self-esteem, that there is that you listen to me, is hierarchical. And I'm actually really anti-hierarchical. I don't believe power should come from the top down. I think power should be shared. So I started to do my research, and I was really fascinated by the SOUL method. I really understood this self-organized learning. It just made sense to me that children should be taking charge of their own learning journey.
Okay, can now everybody tell me what class this is?
Digital citizenship.
Is it better to go shopping online?
Online. Why did online shopping you can just lie down, chill? Good thing about shopping that you can like see the product with your eyes and like see it and feel it. Like when you're shopping, you have to drive it fast.
Okay, that's a little dark. But Vimal, can I also say that then that means you shouldn't drive to football class, you shouldn't drive to school?
I can walk.
You could die walking. Exactly.
Yes.
I want you guys to find out which kind of shopping is better for the environment.
Okay.
Samara.
She rides. You type. She rides.
Or is it?
The thing I liked about Sugata's method is collaboration. So children work together using the internet. So that's another factor that I think is very modern. I just connected with what he was saying very powerfully. I mean, I think
they must be in groups. So what happens? They're searching for something. One group is searching and they look and they say, oh, but they've got another website. The two websites are saying different things. Then they get it. Oh, so not everything is right. One of them must be right, the other one must be wrong. And that lesson remains in their mind forever because no one taught them. They found out by themselves.
Online shopping is far more eco-friendly.
Why do you need that?
Because it's true.
What is true? Shouldn't you also find something that says the opposite and see how it compares? Thank you. I'm going to put it up, Aliyah. This is embarrassing.
My daughter is 6. She asked me to buy an iPad for her. What do you say?
Ask her why. For what? I mean, whether we like it or not, it's a part of this generation's life. So
I still try to ignore it. Try to deny it.
I mean, you can't ignore it. The thing is, if it's so deeply a part of their life, you've just got to get them to realize how can I use it best.
Yeah.
The research shows that internet would kind of motivate different parts of the brain, where the reading will give you something long-lasting memory.
I never grew up enjoying reading a lot of books. I would like to see artwork, illustrations, and those things I would be able to recall much better. So the internet is a resource which allows each student to then learn according to their own learning style.
I think for me, I feel that students are eager about both mediums. So I think I get the best of them in both situations.
They should be able to use whatever resources they have, whether those be books or the internet or encyclopedias or people around them. People are too much into technology. I can take them out for a walk and be like, oh, look at that bird. What bird is that? Look at the tree. And have the children realize that we don't want to ban things from you, but we want you to learn to self-regulate.
So, like all in all, giving an iPad will not make my life easier.
No, it's definitely happening.
No.
There are no shortcuts. Yeah. Might make it harder. Yeah.
मेरा नाम Jolly है，我的名字叫做陈子琪。मैं इंडिया से रहा हूँ，我住在印度。Hello in Chinese is 你好 and how we say bye in Chinese 再见 Take care. Alright children, did you enjoy your sports class? Yeah! What did you like the most? Dance. Jolly, you were the one who never used to dance in the beginning, remember? And now you love dance. Let's start. Jolly, get up and you can share about your favorite person. My favorite person is Adi. Hello, my brother. Or anything about Jolly and then say Jolly loves reading? Everybody knows that. Jolly is very cute. Alright. 在台湾的时候，我就一直只看书，所以因为我害怕，我只要一出去呢，大家就会来笑我。
他在台湾念书，其实念得不是很开心。他有一个问题，就是他有稍微的过动，注意力没有办法很集中。所以在台湾的话，老师都希望小朋友乖乖的，你就是坐着听我的话，不要动。老师会建议说，那你要不要去吃药？看医生吃药。那这个药吃了以后呢，它会抑制他的活动力，抑制他的创造力。来了这边以后，才知道哦，原来他的创意这么的厉害。然后买乐高给他，他没有照着说明书去把它做成他应该有的样子，非常的有创意。
这个是月亮，然后它的亮光就慢慢的洒出来。
因为他在台湾的时候，最常跟我讲一句话：我是不是全世界最笨的小孩？我是不是全世界最差的小孩？你当一个妈妈，你听到这样，你会觉得很心疼。你怎么会讲出这样子的话？他甚至还跟我讲，
是跟我讲的。
他甚至跟我讲说，我是不是不配留在这个世界上？这个对他心理造成很大的伤害。对，我来一开始的目的是我为了工作，这有发展。那我现在继续留下来的原因是，因为他这边读得很开心，所以我为了他，我要辛苦的工作，我要留下来这里。我们比较幸运的接触的是中上的阶级，绝大部分的人还是比较贫穷的。印度是一个很有爱的国家，他们对人都很友善，而且他们对小孩的容忍度很高。他们觉得小孩就是应该要这样，小孩吵闹是正常的。我们也常常在餐厅看到小孩在吃饭的时候跑来跑去，有时候我去制止他的时候，印度人就会说，小孩就是这样子啊，小孩就是要玩要开心。他的导师会跟他说，我爱你，你是最棒的。真的，我是觉得这是很好的一个很正面的鼓励的方式。他有了自信，他现在又跟我讲的是说，我没有那么差，我也做得很好， 我还可以滑雪，我可以讲英文，说哎，你看我现在可以跟别人沟通。他愿意去开放他自己，愿意去学习，他不怕失败了。
I have a dream, a fantasy. I believe in danger when I know the time is right for me. 印度的神 Krishna， 印度的爱神，他就是爱。
印度是混乱的，也是多姿多彩的。印度的教育并不是作为一个整体令人称道，而是在混乱跟落后之中，总有个体在努力，在改变。个体之间相互启发、相互影响，这成就了印度社会进步的动力和希望。
This is a story about 3 friends. Let's meet Pinky. She has turned 9 today. Her friends Jia, Meera, and Priya Didi, who is a doctor, are celebrating her birthday at home. While eating food, Jia had a feeling of wetness in her underwear. She immediately rushed to the bathroom. When she checked her underwear, she was shocked. There was blood in it. This had never happened to her before. She just could not understand why did this happen.
She is definitely thinking that I am dying.
A lot of girls who did not know about periods beforehand, when they got their periods for the first time, they thought they are suffering from some kind of cancer. You know, because
They know cancer before period.
Yeah, because in a lot of Bollywood films, their favorite character is probably about to die because of blood cancer. You know, spitting blood on a washroom.
Aditi 和 Tuhin 这对夫妇因为插画的共同爱好走到了一起。他们设计的月经百科全书成为无数女孩的启蒙。对他们而言，一切改变是从个人的不方便开始。
So I grew up like, and the girls on their periods are seen as impure. So there were a lot of restrictions that were imposed upon me. And I grew up looking at myself and my body as impure. If we being so well educated, we are so ill-informed about menstruation, there would be millions of girls out there.
For the first time, it became a subject of interest for me. It is a big taboo. I mean, you can understand if a guy isn't much aware about it for so many years.
What can we do as a,
like as a designer?
I remember that Tuhin and I, when we pitching these books to business experts, and they were like, who is going to buy a book on menstruation? What we did is that we did crowdfunding, the first batch of books printed.
1,000 English books.
And we ended up raising 5.15 lakh. We made this book for a 9-year-old me. What a 9-year-old Aditi faced, she should not have faced that, but how it is easier for her to learn about menstruation on her own.
小小一本书鼓舞了其他同样受到困扰的人。远在500公里之外的孟买，阿瑞欧将这本百科全书介绍到当地课堂，改变成千上百女孩子的选择。
Do you know what is gender equality? Okay.
In gender equality, girls and boys are equal.
Very good. Perfect. आजकल के ज़माने में there is nothing that a girl cannot achieve.
Today, the topic that we are going to talk about is menstruation. Do you know what that means? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. Whose mothers told their daughters about menstruation, about periods? Okay, only one. What about the others? Typically in India, the rural population especially, the mothers don't teach their girls. They don't talk about menstruation openly. It's still considered a taboo in many parts. So the girl doesn't understand how she has to deal with this issue. Getting inspired from TED, I decided that we should put Menstrupedia comic as a main component in this project.
तो भी इस कपड़े को 8 घंटों में एक बार जरूर बदलना चाहिए।
Group A के questions अगर Group B answer नहीं देती है, why does it come in age of 9 to 16?
What is the maximum gap between our periods?
So will you read this book? Most of the girls who are dropping out of the school is because they don't have proper sanitation facilities in the school. That's why they drop out when they hit puberty. We are giving the pads, We are giving the book and we are giving the napkin incinerator. This together will address the issue holistically. See, now people are taking initiatives about it. So that's why it's gaining momentum. Plus, government is also focusing on this girl-child education, toilets and everything, the hygiene practice. So yes, there is a lot of awareness which has happened in the last couple of years, which is good.
We never explain this to our daughters. I'm just English and history and all I used to teach. But this is the deep explanation which I was not knowing at all. So I request Madam to give this teaching so that I can show to my daughter.
One thing is that boys are curious, right? If they know about what the girls are going through due to Mother Nature, they would probably be more empathetic. They would not be teasing girls. Our classrooms will become more menstrual friendly.
It's quite surprising to see that not only in India but outside the world there have been so many people who are learning and teaching about menstruation using menstruator comic book. A person from Russia read this book and he was like, I am going to translate this book for my daughter, and then the book got translated into Russian.
And into Chinese. Right?
Yeah, into Chinese. The books are locally going to be printed in China.
All these major changes, they come from individual level. They have to come from individuals because a government would not understand individual needs. An individual would understand individual needs, right? And they would create solutions for that.
One should never shame away that we start with something small. It
Yeah.
seems small, but
Yeah.
impact is huge.
Yeah.
मत मारो मत मारो मत मारो
孟买，宝莱坞之城。这里有各种年龄的追梦人，名声与成功，又或者青春，也没有放过童年。
पहले मैं शूट लाइन में ही काम करता था, अभी मैं पार्ट टाइम रिक्शा चलाता हूँ। तौबा कर लिया मैंने एक्टिंग से।
If you want to do acting and you come to Mumbai, you can achieve anything.
There is a say like in every train 100 people are coming in Mumbai regularly to train. When I decided to be an actor, then I was in a different part of my country. I was in Kolkata, and this is Mumbai. This is completely different. When I just said to my parents that I want to be an actor, they were like ferocious and they used to beat me out of my home. Members wanted me to be a doctor or engineer because that's the easy way to earn money and support your family, which I didn't. Which I said I don't wanna. I bought a ticket for Mumbai to come by train.
Bye.
Financial crunch, as I stay in a slum, be careful with the road. I already have done such a great films, lots of great projects in Mumbai, and still I have to struggle for money. I have to struggle for my living. 7 days, there is no water which is coming. Basic criteria to live a life. And it is really heartbreaking. It just collapsed me. I yesterday cried to my mom, calling my mom. But I don't have any regret for that. I can live here with a meditative way, and at the same time I can pursue my career with my dedication, hard work and talent.
If you have a daughter dreaming to be a star in the future, would you allow her?
Of course, yes. I will allow her whatever she wants to pursue. Even she wants to pursue nothing, then it's most welcome. That's her life.
In the funny way, I call my mom assistant, my dad bodyguard.
Naisha 很早开始试镜，参与广告和短剧的演出。
When she is, I think, 3 years old, she told me, Mama, when I become coding or when I become come in TV and theater,
please make it possible for me. I said, we'll try it.
ये लीजिए राइस.
When she entered in class, all friends cheer up, Naisa, Naisa, she's a star. One day, when we get down the metro and one fellow came behind us, trying to pull her hand, so I given him one slap. We'll get the car now next year because we don't want to take a chance. She become famous, then we have to be.
What does fame mean to you?
Everybody knows me.
Yeah, I know famous.
Yeah?
I can have a big house and I can do shootings, short movies, and I love acting.
All these 7 notes in a flute you can hear with this. Not very musical, but it.
Don't you think that, you know, the Disneyland they will hate you?
Not too many commercial people like us, but many people like us because it's fun and it's free. That's why.
1970年代，库布塔先生是一名年轻的工程师。可是他发现许多穷孩子没有玩具，便用自己的知识和技能从废品垃圾中寻找材料，动手制造玩具。
I'm going to tell you a story. It's called as the captain's hat story. The captain was the captain of a sea-going ship. The captain had a suitcase full of all kinds of caps. So this is the huge umbrella cap. If the captain is standing on the deck, it protects him from the scorching sun.
That's the first day.
First. So next day, it would be a kind of fireman's cap. You can see a fireman wears a very designer cap. There's a chute at the back. And third day, he would be wearing an explorer's cap. A shikari cap in India, adventurer's cap, cap number 3. And give it 2 more folds. Now this is a very, very famous cap. If you've seen any of the Indian films, the policeman always wears a cap like this. It's called as a Pandu cap. And we must not forget that the captain was, after all, a captain of a sea-going ship. So that's the captain's ship, right? It's very simple stuff, very hands-on stuff, stuff which is accessible to the poorest. In a world which is full of commerce, which is only for the rich, there are so many poor people, children, who just fall within the chinks. They are marginalized. They have no access to anything. So we thought with the internet, we could make everything available free. All my books are online. From my website, every day, 10, 12,000 books are downloaded, which just shows the hunger for good books amongst the children. There are videos. We make 1 or 2 minute videos. You will never see my face on any of our videos because we think that is bad. Ideas are more important than people. It's not a personality cult. And we have a slogan that the best thing a child can do with a toy is to break it. You can disassemble the entire
thing. This is for the film. No, I have a lot of this.
You make a valve like this. You can see this. It's opening in. If I blow from here, air can pass through. Can I suck in air? No. So one-way traffic. Green light, red light. Go, stop. This is my suction valve, and you make another valve over here. This is my delivery valve. Right? And a straw for the air to come out. Delivery valve. And then you take this old bicycle tube. The discovery was they go in over here, and you push this over here. And if you... Every day I would receive 2-3 letters from teachers across the world that for the first time our kids have actually understood how pumps work. This gives a much deeper understanding of science. This is not just low-cost science, it's the best way of learning science anywhere in the world. It costs very little money for children to make, and they can
have time.
Children don't need much money, they need time. If you spend more time with them, after some time, they will not need you because they will become self-learners. The children taught us this, how to make these funny sounds. We are spoiling the earth. Plastic bottles are all over the place.
Yes.
100 experiments with old plastic bottles. It's accessible to the poorest. They can pick it up from the roadside. So that's where the future lies, right? Try to recycle some of the junk which we've created. Gandhi gave us a talisman that whenever we are bothered about, finance and insecurity and all this, and think of the poorest person. Think, and how your actions will impact his or her life.
I like Gandhi because whenever I see him, I feel peaceful and calm. He would only wear a dhoti and then a small scarf around him, and his shoes were also very plain. So he was really segregating really well. He would not throw some things, and he was really simple guy. This is all from waste. So magazine paper. They made that flower out of magazine paper. We've even done a citizenship program. A citizenship program is when you do something good for the city.
Yeah.
And do you know that every 3 seconds a child dies due to hunger? We want to stop that. Zero hunger and the zero waste.
这间学校与库普塔的想法如出一辙，把废物变成艺术。不过，重点是现代社会产生的电子垃圾。
You can pick two.
You can pick two
identical
ones?
Yes.
This is home.
I'm gonna twist the sides and just fold this so it becomes like a leg.
Now we know that this is all gadget world which is coming up, right? So they employ this young kids and to break it or maybe burn it and take out the metal so that they can sell it. So a lot of problem with child labor. And these children who work here in this kind of setups, they have cancer problems, they have lung problems. So even, getting them aware that yes, the whole thing of just throwing away something is affecting so many different, in different ways. This one, these are the parts which are there in the motherboard. You get this kind of different pieces. So I remove them and then I use them.
We spend so much money on things that we like.
Yeah, and it's looking nice, huh?
Very nice. And so unique.
Yeah.
You can't buy it actually.
Yeah, you can't buy it.
This is the very first one. I made it by myself.
You made it on yourself.
Yeah.
《印度跟中国一样，在过去几十年里，经济高速增长，许多人的命运阶层为之巨变。一个家庭、2代人之间会产生有趣的对照。
Gurgaon is one of the highest per capita income cities in India, so everything here is very expensive. It's a tough city to live in if you're economically not very strong. A good leader has the right know-how, right? So he knows how to do particular things. My name is Eklavya and I am the head of Nalanda, which is the in-house academy of Dalmia Bharat Group for leadership, learning and change. And I focus on building the behavioral and technical competencies of our employees. I've worked with a lot of other countries as well. So in my previous role, I used to find that, things are least structured in India. So I think Indians are very good in terms of managing ambiguity, and therefore China was one of the countries I visited many times. Chinese are really good at getting things done. They are not very good at talking like us Indians. Indians are not hesitant to voice their opinion, even if those opinions are half-baked. So I wouldn't sort of wait till I have the perfect answer till I start. I would sort of get started and then I would assume that, hey, I would have a chance to improvise as I go along. Where I come from, Muzaffarpur, it's a small town in Bihar and a lot of farmland there. It's mostly countryside. So sometimes when I really want to see nature. I come to this park and we have a good time here. Even with this footwear, I can climb the tree.
Whoa! No, I don't think it's a good idea.
Come on.
Okay, I'll try.
You want to try? Come.
Yeah, you just have to
Left there?
Left.
Okay, right foot here?
Right foot here?
Yeah, go, climb.
No.
Okay, bye, Ahan.
No.
Come, just jump.
No, not jumping. That's
Okay, I'll. My father is a teacher. When I was 8 years old, my primary school teacher told him that you must send your son to a boarding school because we don't have many good schools in the town that I was born in. And I remember that the school fees was quite a bit. It was equal to 2 months' income for my family. But my dad said, I would rather leave you with good education than leave you with property somewhere. Your education would help you much more in your life. When we were deciding on his school, I told myself the same thing, that I would rather give him a good education than leave him some property somewhere. That's
说起阿汉的学校，就是电影《起跑线》中那间非常豪华的贵族学校，跟父亲当年节衣缩食上学的情况很不相同。
Actually, our school has a lot of these extracurricular, co-curricular activities. So you don't have to study hard on this one thing. You can excel in anything you want.
I was always told that, all that is good, but you also have to focus on, getting academics right, because based on your academics, you will get entrance into some good college.
You have to do what you like, because even if you don't have that stable a career, even if you don't have enough money, or you can't provide for your family, as long as you're together, you're happy.
Because the parents did it.
That's true. You have the cushion. Thankfully for you, we've earned enough, so you don't have to worry. You can choose something that makes you more happy. I find my life easier because it was one exam that I had to clear, right? I don't think there is a simple answer I can give him that, just clear this exam and you are done.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
So your life may be more exciting than mine. It'll also be more challenging, and there may not be that one lottery ticket like me. Study to the extent that you want, because I want you to have strong decision-making muscle.
印度的教育有沉重的问题，更有快乐和友爱，思辨与变革。它的过去与现状跟我们相似，又如此不同。要看到将来，让我们从理解开始。
What can you tell me about India?
Everyone helps each other over here. So if you even go to a stranger and ask, where do I find medicines from? That person will just tell you, go right and left and you'll find it.
There's a storm in the sea. Now the ship is broken to smithereens. All that remains is a life jacket.
So the whole story is based on one piece of paper.
We initially thought that if we have a daughter, we are all prepared for her. But then we have a son, so we are making a book for boys now.
He can be a feminist as his mother is, just like his parents.
মানে একটা যে কোনো সমাজে পরিস্থিতি জায়গাতেও দাঁড়াতে পারে, মানে কিছু একটা যেন করতে পারে, উনি সার্ভিস ক্ষেত্রে হোক বা কাজ ক্ষেত্রে হোক, এরকম একটা।
I want to do hotel management. Might be a player of swimming or kabaddi. Now there is nothing that girls can't do. Girls can do everything. If you could go back and talk to your school principals and change anything.
The students to be encouraged to learn on their own as well.
And then you let them work in groups. The rest will happen by itself. Yeah, we are covered by them. Oh gosh, look at that. That's the tropics.
英国比较吸引我的就是绅士的这个文化，
就是着装啊。英国人还是比较注重礼仪礼节啊，就繁文缛节这些东西。
教育是英国的一张名片。当我们在谈论绅士精英的时候，我们在谈论什么？英国人自己又是怎样定义精英教育？答案可能让你惊讶。
Sport is a very big part of British education.
体育可能是一种内在的理念。
But above all, I try and say to them that they have a responsibility to do good things in society.
这世界很酷。